Jeff Lax is a CUNY law professor and the director of Students, Alumni, and Faculty for Equality on Campus, and he joins me now. Jeff, thank you for joining us. I'm sure you're going to want to react to both of these stories, but first, this horrific shooting that took place, killing two Israelis in the prime of their lives, exiting a place that should be safe. It was an event for young people to further their career, and seeing their images makes it all the more real and tragic. And you say that this was inevitable and not surprising. Yeah,
I think like millions of Jews across the country today, I think they're waking up and they are heartbroken for this young couple, and they're angry. They don't want to hear, we condemn violence. They don't want that. They want to hear, what are you going to do about it? Because, yeah, this was predictable and inevitable. When you have almost daily riots calling for the genocide of Jews, globalize the Intifada, which is a literal call to kill Jews all over the world, it is inevitable that you're going to have a Jew killed. And if they don't do something, there are going to be more of these incidents to come.
So what steps can be taken?
Well, I think first of all, the DOJ must open up a criminal investigation into every single group that has ties to Hamas, starting with CARE, that was an unindicted co-conspirator with Hamas in the biggest terror financing case in U.S. history, that they were funneling money to Hamas. And secondly, going through groups like SJP, WOL, AMP, any group tied to Hamas there should be an inquiry by Congress. There should be second, an inquiry by Congress as well to find out where the money's coming from, why this is happening. And third, I think Linda McMahon should meet with the accrediting agencies of these schools, universities, and talk to them about protecting every group and making sure that if the universities don't protect their students, don't protect harassment, discrimination, and violence, that they lose their accreditation.
What about what happened outside of Columbia University after the graduation? There were keffiyeh-wearing anti-Israel protesters. They ripped up and burned their diplomas. There was at least one arrest.
Well, I think a Columbia diploma nowadays is worth about as much burnt as it is in full. What she said yesterday was outrageous. She said President Claire Shipman. Mm-hmm. She said her community mourned the absence of Mahmoud Khalil, who led a criminal group that was committing violence and harassment against Jews. And two judges now have said, you are going to be deported for what you did. And she said you know what she should be mourning? She's going to come out today with an outrageous statement saying, I condemn the violence against the Jewish people. But she mourned one of the people who probably was an instigator fomenting what happened.
Along those lines, what happens on campuses throughout our country now? Because, Jeff, my worry is that if the events of October 7th led people on October 8th to celebrate and protest in favor of the terrorists, what's going to happen with this suspect? Is he going to be celebrated? Worse, is he going to be emulated?
I think Jews feel like target practice this morning. I think that's the fear, and I think that's why there have to be concrete actions. I'm calling out for Pam Bondi, Mike Johnson, and Linda McMahon. Open up investigations by Congress, look into the groups tied to Hamas, both criminally by the DOJ and by Congress with an inquiry by an investigation.
Yeah. And President Trump already released a Truth Social post. These horrible D.C. killings based obviously on anti-Semitism must end. Now hatred and radicalism has no place in the USA. Condolences to the families of the victims. So sad that such things as this can happen. God bless you all. What would you like to hear from the president today regarding this?
I would really like to hear that he's opening up investigations, that he's going to talk to the DOJ, that he's going to talk to Congress about an investigation, and that he talks to Linda McMahon before she does whatever she does with the education department, whether she disbands it or not. I think school accreditation must be at stake. They have to realize how serious this is. We see now, this morning, how serious it is. A lot of people are going to wake up today and come to, not just Jews, but decent people across the country. They're going to realize this is not really about Jews. These same people also hate America. They're coming after America, capitalism. They hate Christians, too. It's not just the Jews.
So you don't think, independent of some act by Donald Trump, some act by Linda McMahon, these schools, our education system is going to look at what happened and say, hey, now we need to stop and we need to act up and stop anti-Semitism? You don't think that's going to happen?
I'll tell you, Todd, on a normal day, I would laugh at that, but I'm not in a laughing mood today. And no is the answer. We have seen that for many years.
What's it going to take?
Yeah, and the suspect is a Illinois native, and we need to know where he was radicalized, 30 years old, so just out of school age, but could it have happened there? Jeff, thank you so much.